Clients come into therapy saying, I know I need boundaries, I just don't know why. Every time I try to set one, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. They are intelligent, self-aware, successful by most external measures, and yet in relationships, they keep finding themselves in the same pattern. Moving too fast, sharing too much, bending themselves to fit whoever is in front of them. In one relationship, a coaching client told me she felt deeply connected because he texted her constantly, wanted to see her every day, and confided in her early about his trauma. It felt intimate, she said, like we were special. But when she tried to slow things down, ask for one night a week to herself, her body flooded with shame. Her chest tightened. Her mind spiraled. I'm being cold. I'm going to lose him. I'm asking for too much. She didn't just worry about hurting him. She felt like she was doing something morally wrong. As we explored her history, a pattern emerged. Growing up, her parents didn't respect emotional or psychological boundaries. Her feelings were debated. Her privacy was questioned. Saying no led to guilt, sulking, or withdrawal. Love was available, but conditional. So her nervous system learned something very early. Connection requires access. Protection equals rejection. In adulthood, that showed up as self-abandonment disguised as closeness. She wasn't choosing partners who respected her limits because limits felt unsafe. And when someone did push past her comfort, it didn't register as a red flag. It registered as familiarity. The turning point wasn't exactly when she learned how to say boundaries. It was when she learned what boundaries are actually for. Not to control other people, not to punish, not to push love away, but to protect her sense of self so intimacy could grow without fear. When she began practicing small, quiet boundaries, naming her needs, tolerating the discomfort of not over-explaining, something unexpected happened. Healthy people leaned in, controlling people pulled away. In this lecture, I'll teach you why asserting boundaries can trigger shame instead of confidence, how your nervous system learned that boundaries threaten connection, what unhealthy boundaries actually look like, why having no boundaries increases vulnerability to controlling or abusive personalities, how dark or controlling people relate to boundaries, what healthy boundaries truly look like in practice, and how to reframe boundary-related shame from setting internal boundaries. By the end of this lecture, you won't see boundaries as walls, punishments, or rejection. You'll understand them as self-respect in action and as one of the clearest signals of emotional health and relational safety. If you grew up in a home where your privacy wasn't respected, your emotions were questioned, corrected, or used against you, saying no led to guilt, withdrawal, or punishment, your nervous system learned this early rule. Boundaries threaten connection. So now as an adult, when you assert a boundary, your body doesn't register safety or empowerment, it registers danger. That shame response isn't a flaw, it's a trauma adaptation. When boundaries weren't modeled, people often swing toward no boundaries at all and mistake that for love, intimacy, or kindness. I will provide you with 3 unhealthy boundaries to act as examples. 1, oversharing or trauma dumping early. This looks like sharing deeply personal trauma or emotional wounds within the first interaction, creating a sense of instant closeness. It can feel like honesty, but it often bypasses the natural pacing required to build real trust. Instead of connection, it creates intensity rooted in unmet emotional needs and urgency. 2, black and white trust, all in or not at all. This shows up as instantly deciding someone is completely trustworthy or entirely unsafe, with no middle ground. Rather than building trust over time, the person reacts to emotional highs and lows in the moment. This leads to cycles of idealizing and then devaluing others, creating unstable relationships. 3, saying yes to sex, touch, time, or favors you don't want. This involves agreeing to things that go against your own comfort or desires in order to maintain connection. It reflects prioritizing someone else's approval over your own internal boundaries. Over time, this erodes self-trust and increases the likelihood of resentment and emotional harm. Here is a list of many unhealthy boundaries. Unhealthy boundaries can look like taking as much as you can get for the sake of getting, letting others direct your life, letting others describe your reality, believing others can anticipate your needs, expecting others to fulfill your needs automatically, falling apart so someone will take care of you, causing self-abuse, allowing someone to take as much as she or he can from you. If this resonates, it doesn't mean you lack discernment. It means you were never taught where you end and others begin. Here's something important and uncomfortable, but clinically true. If you have no boundaries, you are more vulnerable to abuse. Abusive and controlling personalities, consciously or subconsciously, look for people who already self-abandon. They don't need to bulldoze your boundaries. They don't need to manipulate much because you already willingly don't have them. To someone with dark or controlling traits, that signals there's no resistance here. I can have access without accountability. Boundaries are not just relational skills, they are self-protection. Healthy boundaries require respect, limits, negotiation, accountability. Dark or controlling personalities don't want intimacy that requires those things. They want access without resistance, closeness without reciprocity, compliance without consequence. And if you don't have boundaries, you are not safer, you are exposed. Healthy boundaries are quieter than people expect. They don't feel dramatic or adrenaline-filled. 1, revealing yourself gradually and watching how someone responds. This means sharing personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences over time rather than all at once. It allows you to observe whether the other person responds with consistency, respect, and emotional safety. Intimacy becomes something that is earned and evaluated, not assumed. 2, asking before touching and saying no without over-explaining. This reflects respect for both your own body and another person's autonomy. Consent is clear, direct, and does not require justification or apology. It reinforces that your comfort is reason enough to set a boundary. 3, communicating needs clearly while accepting they may not be met. This involves expressing what you want or need without expecting others to automatically fulfill it. It balances self-advocacy with emotional realism, recognizing that others have their own limits. Instead of control or resentment, it creates space for mutual choice and compatibility. Putting a new acquaintanceship on hold until you check for compatibility, noticing when someone else displays inappropriate boundaries, knowing who you are and what you want, staying rooted in your values even if someone wants more from you, trusting your own perceptions and emotions, becoming your own source of safety instead of outsourcing it. Healthy boundaries protect connection without sacrificing the self. Most people think boundaries are something you say, but boundaries are something you have long before you ever communicate them. If you don't have internal boundaries, external boundaries collapse under pressure. Internal boundaries are the psychological lines that define what you are responsible for versus what you are not, what you feel versus what others feel, what you want versus what others expect, what you will tolerate versus what you will not. When those internal lines are blurry, external boundaries feel impossible to hold. You might state a limit, then immediately override it with guilt, explanation, or self-abandonment. That's because the boundary wasn't anchored inside you yet. Externally, it sounds like, "It's fine, never mind. I don't want to make this a big deal. I can adjust." Internally, it feels like, "If I hold this line, I'll lose connection." That's not a communication problem, that's an internal boundary wound. Internal boundaries mean you allow yourself to have preferences without justifying them. You don't take responsibility for managing other people's emotions. You don't confuse discomfort with danger. You trust your own perceptions even when they conflict with someone else's. You let others be disappointed without rescuing them. When these internal limits exist, external boundaries become simpler. Not easier emotionally, but clearer psychologically. You don't need long explanations, you don't need to convince, you don't need permission. The boundary just already naturally exists. Internal boundaries aren't created through affirmations. They're built through repeated self-loyalty under discomfort. Here's how that happens clinically. 1. Separating shame from harm. Many clients were taught that causing discomfort equals causing harm. Internal boundaries require learning the difference. Disappointment is not damage. Someone's emotional reaction is not proof you did something wrong. Each time you tolerate someone's disappointment without fixing it, you strengthen an internal boundary. If asserting a boundary brings up shame, that doesn't mean the boundary is wrong. It means you learned that love required access, your needs were treated as inconvenient, you survived by staying open when you should have been protected. That shame isn't a stop sign, it's a signal that you're doing something unfamiliar, but necessary. Boundaries are self-respect in action. They are how you signal to the world, "I am not available for harm." Healthy people respect boundaries. Unhealthy people are repelled by them. If someone reacts with anger, withdrawal, or control when you assert a boundary, they're revealing that you're no longer available for abuse or coercion. If you're realizing that boundaries were never modeled for you and that's been putting you at risk for unhealthy or controlling relationships, this isn't something you have to figure out alone. Inside my course, Aligned Love, I teach you how to identify unhealthy attachment patterns before you're emotionally hooked, build boundaries that don't rely on guilt, shutdown, or over-explaining, recognize early warning signs of dark or controlling personalities, choose partners based on compatibility, not trauma familiarity. You can learn more and enroll using the link below.